Hello again, it's me, Aaron DeLozier, running for U.S. Senate in Oklahoma. And on this video, I just want to give a little bit about goals, aspiration, dreams, that kind of thing as to why I feel that I would be a good selection for the position. And in order to kind of explain some of that, I just want to share some of my insights into how I think things could be done and how things are being done. One of the things that I would like to do is we hear a lot about voter registration, voter ID laws, and how they are harmful, they hurt a lot of minorities, and they prevent other people from voting because, you're preventing citizens from voting. Well, the funny thing about voter registration laws is that there really already is one on the books, and we don't have to look anywhere else for it. It's in the Constitution, by the way. It's actually in two amendments. One that prevents anyone who has achieved the age of 18 years or older who is a citizen of the United States from voting. Now, the great thing about this is that you have to prove you are a citizen of the United States, which means we don't need any voter ID laws because they're already on the books. But it's being overlooked by all the brilliant people who think we need to do it at the state level when it's already in the federal Constitution. So all we really need to do is say, okay, I don't really need to see any documentation about who you really are. I just need to see documentation about where you were born and whether you're a citizen of this country, which, oh, by the way, just happens to be the same thing. It's absolutely unbelievable that nobody's picked this up yet. So that's just one of the things that I think we already have enough laws in place that we don't need anymore. They're already there if we would just look for them. But nobody is, so what do we do? Well, until the people wake up, meaning you, and start demanding change, meaning you, then nothing's going to. If you're happy with the way things are, if you're happy with the way the border control is being handled, if you're happy with the bureaucracy in America, if you're happy with everything that's going on, then don't do anything, because it's going to continue to keep happening whether you do anything or not, probably. Otherwise, if you did do something, it's still going on, and if you aren't convincing people to do anything, it's still going on. So until you, meaning everybody, wake up, then it's going to keep going on. And that means that unless you make a decision to change what's happening in Washington, nothing's going to change. But you have to be the ones who goes out there, and you have to be heard. And what that means is stop worrying about political correctness. Stop worrying about if your feelings are going to get hurt. Stop worrying about hurting other people's feelings. Go be heard, make your voice known, make your position known, and do something. And the best and easiest thing you can do is vote, and vote for the people who most closely are going to fight for you and what you believe. Now, if you believe that the person who is doing the job right now is the best person to put back in there, then go right ahead and put him back in there. Otherwise, you find out what other people believe and you start voting for them, because not everybody is going to agree with you 100% of the time. So you have to do something different. Now, let me ask you this. If you were to ask somebody what the retirement age in this country, most people are probably going to tell you it's in the 60s or 70s. So why do we have people in office who are pushing 80 and 90? Are they doing that good a job that nobody else can do it? Or are they like lifetime appointment judges and they just kind of die in office? Just kind of curious who you think better represents you and the future generations of tomorrow. Somebody who's old enough to be their great-grandfather, somebody who's old enough to be their father, or somebody who is as old as they are. Because one of the things is going to happen. One, the people who are in office are going to continue to run the future of this country into the ground with massive debt, not reining in spending, and pretty much doing everything they can to do whatever they can right now and not worrying about the future. Or the future is going to get there, and it's going to catch up. The country is going to go bankrupt, possibly. And then we have to deal with it at that time. So are we going to keep kicking the can down the road, or are we going to make a decision now to do something right now and change the way things are handled? But you have to be heard, let your voice be known, let your position be known, and tell people about it. This is what just amazes me. We have people dying for your right to vote. Anybody who doesn't vote might as well just tell their families that their kids, their siblings, their brothers and sisters, in-laws, parents, doesn't matter. If they died in combat protecting the freedom of this country, you might as well just walk up to them. You might as well walk up to them and say, you know what, that life that you lost didn't matter at all. I could really care less. They're fighting for my freedom to vote in this country, and I'm just going to not vote. So thank you for having one of your family members go across and serve this country. I don't care. And you tell that to 5 people. See how many of them say something back to you and do something that you may consider to be an aggressive action. I guarantee you it's not going to be nice. But when we have citizens in this country complaining about the way things are, why don't you move somewhere else if things are so much better there? The rest of us can stay in America where it's nice and continue to better the country. Anyway, I'm going way off on a tangent, but I don't care because obviously I'm not the well-funded person that people want in office. I'm just the, upstart who doesn't know any better. Again, I have a dream, aspirations, and goals. I believe that we can shut down the border and only allow people to come here legally into the country. It will be hard, it just takes the time and effort to do it. I believe we have the laws in place in order to prevent people who are not citizens of this country from voting and to allow people who are citizens to prove they're citizens and to vote. It doesn't take a statewide voter ID law. It doesn't even take a judge stating that you can't have a statewide voter ID law. It's in the Constitution, which, oh, by the way, nobody even notices anymore. So yeah, I really don't care what anybody says about it. This is just my 2 cents, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I don't care. That's what makes me brilliant as an independent. I can take the heat for being conservative. I can even take the slack for being liberal. It doesn't matter because I'm not Democrat or Republican. So, if you decide that you think what I've said motivates you in any way, or if you've already turned it off and not even gotten to this point, that's fine too. I said the videos are probably going to be about 5 to 6 minutes. Well, I just can't do that. So anyway, this video is not professional, none of mine are, but it's my chance to connect with the people. And if we actually want to do something, then we as a society and as a whole, number one, have to hold our employees, aka the government, accountable to what the people want, not what the minority or the people in black robes dictate to the people. The choice is yours. You either be heard or you don't. And if you're not being heard, then you might as well just sit back and shut up and deal with it because you didn't do anything to change it. Choice is yours. Be heard or don't. It's up to you.